One of the most interesting characters in the Demon Slayer anime is actually Gyomei, and he's one of the characters that I feel like got treated in a really rushed way and was not able to shine through the anime or the manga. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about how strong he actually is, because I feel like in the manga we don't really get to see a lot of his strength or speed until like towards the end. I feel like it's kind of like a missed opportunity. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go one by one, and conclusion we will see how strong he actually is and where he is placed in terms of like power level in the Demon Slayer universe. So without further ado, let's get on. As we all know, we get introduced to Gyomei from the first season. That's being shown was actually in the anime when Zenitsu and Tanjiro see Gyomei basically lifting 2 logs with 2 rocks tied to them. Now, if we're gonna basically go in terms of like physics and how much those actually weigh, it would go like this. If we were to say that the wood is an elder red type of wood, it's basically like a 75 centimeter on both ends, and the length of it is basically 2 meters, then we would come to a weight of around 651 kilograms. Now that's just 1 log. He was actually holding 2 logs and 2 rocks. So how much does those rocks weigh? Now usually each of those rocks should weigh between 200 and 300 kilograms. So let's go with the middle. Let's say each rock weighs 250 kilograms. Now with all of the elements that we have calculated combined, we should come to, I guess, like a closure or a close number to 2,200 kilograms. That's being lifted on his back alone. He's not using his arms. He's also like on fire, literally. He's sitting on fire. So that's the first type of strength we get to see from Gyomei. The next thing we get to see is him pushing a huge boulder that's like taller than him by like 3 times. It's around like 6 meters of length. So that should be also like around at least 6,000 to 8,000 kilograms. Now, when we get to see him actually fighting, and the first time we get to actually see him fight, basically lifting this huge axe, who I'm pretty sure should weigh between like 100 and 200 kilograms, maybe like between 50 and 100 kilograms, and it's basically from solid steel, and he's basically swinging it with ease, long distances, and he blows Muzan's head off, literally. That was like an insane feat that he actually did. Now, we then have to go to the manga section, which I'm gonna give a brief spoiler warning, so anyone who is not caught up with the manga, this is your chance to pause the video. Basically, in the manga, we get to see him fighting the Upper Moon, technically Upper Moon number 1. And he was fighting with him, and he was actually going toe-to-toe with him for a while without any help like from anyone. He was going with him alone until he actually needed some help, because we're talking about an Upper Moon who lived for more than like 1,000 years. And he has the ability to regenerate. He literally like have a skill on his own. He have a special sword of his. He basically also have a special breathing style that's like being made to him. Technically, if we're gonna go to the next type of, I guess, like part that kind of like astonishes us, is Demon Slayers can literally like activate a mark in their face that enhances their strength. And when he did that, he was able to basically go toe to toe again with the first Upper Moon with ease. He was like going toe to toe, matching up with his speed, matching up with his strength. And we then move on to where they basically fought against Muzan, which honestly was kind of, I guess, like a bit of a letdown of fight, if I'm gonna be honest, because we didn't get to see the characters really shine though. You know what I mean? I guess like the most impressive strength that I saw Gyomei actually do, he was pulling a huge car that usually should weigh around 2,000 to 3,000 kilograms at least, to restrain Muzan, along with other things, to restrain Muzan from actually like moving forward. Roughly in terms of strength, I would say Gyomei is probably like second to Muzan if we're gonna talk like strength based alone. Maybe like he is like the 3rd or the 4th character if we're gonna like put Yuichi at number 1, because like he's extremely fast, he's extremely strong, and then put like Muzan at number 2, put Upper Moon number 1 at number 3, and then put Gyomei at number 4. I feel like that would make a lot of sense. But in terms of strength, I feel like he's probably second to Muzan, or maybe even stronger than Muzan in terms of strength. If we're gonna talk speed, I feel like he gets a bit low than that. I feel like the Stone Hashira is a lot faster than than him. Maybe even Rengoku is a bit faster than him. But I feel like his power comes from his strength and his focus, or durability, I would say. He is, I think, by far is the most durable and I guess like the strongest Hashira of them all. If we're gonna like basically go eyeballing him and lowballing him, I would say lowballing him, he can lift or push 10,000 kilograms of force, which is technically like around 3 cars, depending on which car we're talking about, but usually like around that. Highballing him, if we're talking like about him like having his max type of power and everything, I would say like he can get around 25 to 30,000 kilograms of force alone. He can fight for like a really long night. He was fighting actually basically like the beginning, technically like around 12 a.m. if we're gonna go by that, till 7 a.m. basically like around 6 hours, almost non-stop. He got knocked out like a couple of times, but it was like very short period. It was like 10-20 minutes every time he got knocked out. So him being able to fight almost 6 hours without being able to sleep or rest, and also like him not just fighting normal demons, he was fighting the upper one demon and Muzan. That's basically like his first boss that we got to see in the anime. We never actually got to see him before, except like with his flashback, but other than that, we never really got to see him fight like upper moons or lower moons, which I kind of hope we got to see before like we jump to the end. That's why like I'm saying I feel like he got a little bit of harsh treatment, because like he was going with like the strongest Hashira, everyone was looking forward to meeting him, and then literally like we jump to the end and that's where we see him fight in those 2 fights on the same day, and then he's basically done. I'm looking forward to see how they're gonna adapt his strength and his fighting style in the next 3 movies, because that's how they're gonna handle the adaptation of that. But other than that, I'm just looking forward to it, honestly. Let me know what you guys think about that, if I missed any strength status, or if you feel like you have a different opinion, or if there's any different characters you want me to cover. I have been the Manga Viewer, and I'll see you all next time. Matsane!